Hello, good evening. My name is Armando Adano, and this is the um, laboratory for sharp debridement for PT804 integumentary physical therapy. I'm going to be showing you guys the wound tracing first, and I traced the hem hock already over here. Unfortunately, I got the irregular shape meat, but as you can see here, you'll be able to appreciate the muscle, the bones, muscle over here, muscle, the fascia or the subcutaneous layer, and here we have the necrotic tissue, the color blue dye, and around it the necrotic tissue is actually over the muscle. So if I take this off and lay it on here, you'll see the right upper corner over there, the date, it's 10/31/11, and the initial of the patient, it's AR, and the orientation of the wound, it's 12 o'clock here and then 6 o'clock over there. And still you're gonna see the wound tracing where I already wrote down where the muscles are, the bone, the fascia or the subcutaneous layer, and the necrotic tissue over the muscle. And if we're gonna be measuring the if we have the measurement of the necrotic tissue, we'll be using the centimeter. So if we're gonna be doing it over the hem hock, we'll be using this side. So from there to there, we're gonna be using the longest distance or the longest length. So that's the initial centimeter up to there. It's going to be equivalent to 4 centimeters. And for the width, same thing, we're going to be finding the longest distance. So I'm going to be choosing this point up to that point. And that will be 3 centimeters. I already wrote it down, so it's 4 centimeter times 3 centimeters, and it's equal to 12 centimeters square. That will be the surface area for the hem hock. And if we're going to be comparing it to the wound tracing, so the length will be from there to there, it's going to be the same. It's 4 centimeters, and the width will be the widest or the longest distance. It's going to be 3 centimeters too. So the wound tracing, we're going to be documenting it. So 4 times 3 centimeters is equal to 12 centimeters square. So the surface area of the wound tracing and the hem hock is comparable. Now we're going to take this away from the meat. We're going to move this a little closer. I want to start with the sharp debridement first, since the hem hock is already placed that way. So here we're going to be using the forceps and the scissors. I have kind of odd dexterity. When I use a scissor, my dominant hand would be right. However, if I use a scalpel, the 10 and 15 here, later you'll be seeing my dominant hand is the left side. So for the sharp debridement, my dominant hand again is the right, wherein I'm going to be using the 3-point procedure here. My ring finger will be in this side, thumb, and then middle finger supporting over here, and then my index finger will be on top of the close to the tip of the scissor or the joining. Okay, my forcep will be resting from 3 and 4th fingers and the thumb. Okay, so we'll be starting now. So I'm gonna be taking some piece from the blue necrotic tissue. So I'm only gonna be cutting the blue dye and try to stay away from the viable tissue. And I should be resting my forearm on the table, however we have a narrow table over here. And as you can see, I'm sitting down instead of standing up. And the scissors should be parallel to the tissue that we're debriding. So as you can see, the necrotic tissue is actually coming out from the viable tissue. And if most of the necrotic tissue is already off the viable tissues, you can stop the debridement, or if the patient is starting to have so much discomfort. Okay. Okay, so right there. So I got those necrotic tissue off the meat. Now we're gonna move to the second exercise, which is shaving the calluses. So let me just rest it over there. Okay, so we'll be using the number 10 scalpel. Number 10, and I'm gonna flip the meat like that, and I put the red dye over here on the bony prominences, where you can see the callus most of the time. And so here I got the dominant hand left hand as my dominant hand, and The scalpel will be between 3rd and 4th. And fingers wrap around the scalpel. And I'll be resting my forearm on a stable surface. Like this. However, the table is kind of small for me. Okay. So, and the motion will be like a saw. However, the motion will be coming from the fingers and the wrist, not on the elbow. So from here you can angulate it to start with. And then as you proceed, it's gonna the direction should be parallel or flat against the callus. I have to support the skin using my other hand because actually the specimen is kind of sagging, and it's like the skin of the ham hock is trying to come off from the meat. So as you can see, oops. Yeah, see, I'm shaving some of it. So again, okay. So I can take those off. Just trying to take those hairs that I already shaved. Okay, okay. So we're done with the shaving. Next will be cross hatching. We'll be using number 15, and still my dominant hand will be my left hand. And so scalpel will be firmly on the first web space. It's gonna be held like a pencil. And the one that should be cutting over the blue spot over here is the curve of the blade, not the tip. So we have a better control. And the direction of cut would be parallel and then perpendicular, like a tic-tac-toe. And we shouldn't be exposing any white spot over there. so the depth of the cut would only stay on the blue dye. So I'm gonna cut over here. Oops. This is a one sharp scalpel. Okay, so I think we can focus now the camera, and well, this one is really deep, the first one that I did. However, the following ones, this is the second one, it's still you're still seeing the light blue spot inside. I don't know if you can appreciate that from the camera. And then this is the third one, and then I had some extra light cut over here at the bottom, just to show you. I got a fourth one over there. This is the fifth one. This is the first, which is very deep. This is not the this is close to not appropriate cut, because you can see the white spot in beneath the cut. But this is the ideal one. Second, third, and fourth is very light. Okay, and it should be crisscrossing. So I just want to mark more the second and third. So there you go. Okay, so I guess that's the end of the exercise. I got the cross hatch in here, the shaving, the sharp debridement over the muscle right here, and the wound trace, which resulted to surface area of the correct tissue as 12 centimeters square, comparable to the measurement that we get from the ham hock. Okay, so thank you very much, and I'm gonna attach this to YouTube, and I'll be sending the link to the professor. Okay, so after care, this should go to the a certain container and ready to be disposed. Thank you. Bye bye.